like a bit of Little Big Planet, and I like what Media Molecule was trying to do with Little Big Planet. And this is apparently an imp, and it runs around like a flippity gibbet because it's controlled by the motion sensor, which means I can't use my Ryaju on it. Ryaju Bakuhatsu Shiro, because it doesn't have a motion sensor in it. We can jump into this sort of. This is the starting. This is sort of the equivalent of the hub. You can customize this, but if you try and customize it, it says we're still working on this. There's something, I presume, we're supposed to edit these away. As I say, if you try and go into the home space editor here, it normally says, oh, actually, we're still working on this. It also puts your camera at this really strange angle. So the 3D controls aren't too bad. The joystick's mostly used for moving the camera around. You have got a dolly, which is good because that's essential for placing anything in 3D. Yeah, I move it. These are moved with the motion controls as well, which is yeah, we do have that problem. It's just disappeared on us. Okay. I don't actually know what these are, if they're content unlocks like they were in Little Big Planet. Also moving awfully slowly, this guy. Oh, I jammed these in here earlier. But let's go to the actual thing, which is here. Don't know what the community jam is. Spring, okay. Now this is another thing. We've got the workshop here. Now you sort of have... The problem is that this is the same problem that was in Little Big Planet, or all of the Little Big Planets up to 3. So that basically you've got two choices. You either jump in and try and work everything else out yourself, or you do the tutorials, which are really slow and childlike, you know, as in, oh, look, there's a rocket. Do you see another rocket? Move towards it. Yay, good job. Which is, you know, I mean, if they actually want a primary school kids to get into this game, then that's cool. But if you've got a game that's got a visual programming language in it, then it would be kind of better to actually have more support for middling. So these are all of the categories we've got. Story scene, showcase scene, feature shorts, visual novels. Visual novels, someone's really going to type a visual novel. Contraption music. That's instrument. I don't know if that actually means you can create an instrument. If it's a... let's see if that means you can sample. Drum kit, synth, grind bass, electric dreams. Okay, let's try... Oh, it's quite a lot. Okay, so this extra reverb crescendo in. So I don't know what these do. There is now. I think I was playing a little bit with this before. I think we have here piano roll view, which is where we actually do sequencing. But I really wanted to. Oh right, okay. So we're not actually creating instruments; we're creating loops. Okay, that makes much more sense. The only problem here is that if you really have to edit this one by one, then this is going to be a massive pain in the arse. L1 and X sound tools. Okay. I could just play live there, but that's a bit pointless. Not sure how I actually create a note. You can record live, actually. You can record live, but I think that's fairly pointless. Because it's the usual reason you have to use a sequencer. You can never actually get everything precise enough. But I don't seem to just... oh, that'll grab the whole thing. That's... oh, I can dolly around the user interface. That's really useful. X doesn't do anything. Am I supposed to... This was an instrument, wasn't it? Yeah, because that's already set there. Oh, this is the effects selection. Okay, I see. Okay, get rid of that. So yeah, I mean, I guess they've used the motion controls because it would be painfully slow otherwise. But there is the problem that this object can't be edited. Well, what was the point of letting me remix it then? If I was... oh, okay, well that's where I can't change anything then, alright. I thought the whole point... never mind, alright. Let's just break out of this and try and do a new one. So, okay, so it says here you can create an instrument, but I can't. And if you go into that, you can never get one that way. That's a bit silly. What you can do is create music, and then you can start clean, and then you pull in an instrument. Actually, you have to start with a music timeline and open its tweak. Oh, you open its tweak. You open its timeline, which is that. And then you put instruments on it. There's that violin we were using. 4 violin sustain period. We were using F, weren't we? I don't know what that stands for actually. Alright, we found it easily enough on the prompt before. Let's give it a go there. Strings, sustain F. And so yeah, okay, so this actually imports as a loop. So oh god, now I don't know why we have this fake user this fake window system. It just kind of winds me up at this point. Sequencer. Can we actually edit? And this is the other thing. Your imp goes out of sync very easily, and you have to reset it. And I still can't add anything. I think what it wants you to do is to play it in directly. What? These sounds in any view? Oh. Oh, I haven't had one of those before. Okay, oh, that's stop performing. Okay, so if I've stopped performing, can I now sequence? No. And they're the same as instruments. Music clips are the same. Oh, come off it. Close that. That's square button, by the way. Don't know what slice mapper is. So yeah, we have this. You can have 8 notes. You only get 1 octave. And there's spice. Oh no. Oh, okay. Alright, choose key and scale. Oh, good grief. Is it trying to get me able to do this in the middle as well? So let's try. I don't know, what can I do that's not going to get us copyright struck? How about... Oh, hang on. Oh, I went to other. Basic. Oh, you go out of the window and you lose it. Oh, that's going to be a real... I guess I have to zoom in all the way then. Right, and there is an option here for a lead-in. Right. So that was Katusha. So let's try that. Right, record. Okay. Well, that was kind of a script. Now, we also got this odd thing here. We got this buzzy mess of dots. Is this supposed to be notes? I guess it's supposed to be notes, but I have no idea what the dots represent. So are we supposed to move them around somehow? I guess we do need to go to the sequencer for that. See, there we actually see the notes. And we can get rid of them, but moving them... I can't delete it. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, God, you have to keep your imp tail right on that point. Yeah, oh, look, there's a pause at the beginning. Can I do a bulk select? Oh, well, this is really horrible having to do this. And... oh, now you have to be over one to move them, because otherwise it moves the window. Oh, no, it's resizing them. No, don't do that. I want to move them. Right, and now can I... yeah, I can resize the canvas. Can I resize the loop? That one? No. I don't want to delete it. Oh, I see, okay. Okay, so I can close that now. And play. time playing. The object can't be. I just edited it. I just made it. Why would you? Ah, is that play? Yeah. No, that's trim end. And this is trim start. So, how do I actually play it? Oh, oh, it's still. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, except that moves the playhead back, but doesn't actually make it play. Yes, solo, no. If I go to open, I can play. I could play it. Is it on here? No, there's normally a... Ah, hang on. Oh, no. Because normally there was a play button down the bottom. Disappear. It's not on the... Ah, okay. Okay, it's those two together. Right. Hidden menus, not always great. Yeah, and it always goes out of centre. Right. Well, if we're doing this, then, I mean, if you heard the Rob Hubbard version, that had a fairly awesome drum beat to the background, so... Anything that sounds like a SID. Oh, epic battle, that sounds right. And open. Oh god, I've got to perform this as well, haven't I? Oh, that's going to sound crummy against that. Oh, let's try it anyway, but it's not going to sound good. And I guess I have to fix that up as well. Oh, I was almost exactly at the right time. Except for this one, which escaped. And... well, alright, might as well stick in a bass. What the hell's that? Oh, I've got no bot me. I guess we can do that for a simple one. It's counting. Oh, no, no, oh, it's in the wrong place. Stop. How on earth did that happen? Come out, perform. Right. Oh. Well, so how do I move the record head? Okay. Nah, fail. That's not going to work at all. Oh, and I'm still in perform mode. Undo that. Yeah, it's going to sound very shallow, isn't it? Oh well, I'm just going to leave that and save that for now, I think. That's... let's try it. How's it work making sound effects? Or is this another one where you can't actually make them? Yeah, I've got a remix button. Oh no, because there is that sort of waveform editor, isn't there? You've got a wire attached to it somehow. Oh no. Spiciness. Not really have a lot of sense. Also, what? Oh. I don't have an oscillator actually enabled, do I? And I can't enable them. You've got a decent set of effects there. Shame it's not clearer. Just having something go ghosted when you can't see why it's ghosted is not really a good bit of practice. Right, let's try something else. Let's try character. Oh, I see. So we have a basic armature to start with. Test, sound, effects, style, coat, paint. Okay, so CSG, flex, finishes, guides, show for it. Now, why do I want to edit this bogus cube that you just give me from nowhere? No. Ah. Whoa. What's going on here? I suddenly picked up. Oh, that. Oh, I'm inside a cube. But I don't want to edit the cube. I want to edit this armature. Oh, or is it just? If I go to test mode. Oh, that's a test mode. Test mode.
Well, in a mark of solidarity, the bells at Westminster Abbey rang this evening at the exact time the fire began yesterday evening.
Right, and doesn't walk or anything. Probably doesn't have any animations, does it? All right, let's get one of the sample ones and see how they work. Either that's why I go and do the tutorial, but the tutorial will be massively tedious.
Your footstep caught fire 35 years ago, and today the people who restored it had a message of hope.
Oh my goodness. They had to put all that in just to make a single. Oh dear. Okay.
These are the parts of York Minster that you don't normally see. Parts that Jeff made. The oak timbers holding up the roof. So these ones are from the 80s, and these are from when? Medieval. The new ones were needed due to a fire from the lightning strike in 1984.
Yeah, that's really helpful to be looking directly at a meaningless control icon. Oh, I am jumping and I'm moving around. I just, for some reason, got the camera in the wrong place. And my imp's gone. How do I get out? How do I get out of test mode? I can go into play mode, I suppose. So I have to go into play mode to get out of test mode? Yes. Okay. Now, what have we got here? During possession.
As well as fish, and even a haunch of venison. What looks at first sight like a fairly crude cooking arrangement is basically just a cauldron set above a brick oven. Can actually be used to cook in a variety of different
What is it
ways.
connected by?
You could cook just a basic broth
To...
but in that you could cook different things. They could have bags, like muslin bags, that would hold enough meat and peas for one whole mess of people. That is 8, 10 or 12 people. And then in front of the oven, using the
Okay, so that's sort of a custom input. And it's connected to...
cooking pots that we actually found.
Camera control, right.
Shown that this was really a very sophisticated cooker, like a modern day Arga, but with a great big cauldron. And it wasn't just a crude cooking range. The menu wasn't just meat. There would have been greens and peas. and even methods of making the food taste a little better.
Oh, it's a chip, which means you can go into
Were
it.
also discovered in the wreck. There were even clues about how they ate scattered throughout the ship.
We have this vast amount of eating and drinking materials belonging to ordinary people, the general crew that on board the ship. Away, or they just rot away over the ages.
That's a chip too.
After the food was transferred to their own individual bowl or plate,
Oh, it's that. Okay, that makes sense.
seamen would have really just used their own knives and their fingers. Forks hadn't been brought into English society at that stage, and spoons would be reserved for people of a higher status. And you notice that the plates have markings from knives.
Wow,
which
okay.
were used to cut food.
So yeah, they really do want you to just customize stuff, ideally, because that building that from scratch, I can see being a massive pain in the backside.
And at that time, the
Where's our gun?
ration of beer a day, 8 pints, which sounds
I have no head.
would have been very, very much watered down beer and used because it
I
was
thought we were
so
supposed to have a
much
gun.
healthier than water, because fewer bugs would grow in it because the yeast grows and produce the beer. The officers would have drunk wine, and they would have eaten in a much more refined
Okay.
way. Their food would have been taken to them
Let's look at the third person one there.
onto their pewter plates.
Oh, hang on, that's. Oh yeah, okay. This is the default. This is the default one, so the one we get in.
An amazing collection
No sign of the armature, or is it underneath?
actually has the initials GC,
No.
which could be George Carew, who was the vice admiral on board. So it seems that he brought his own dinner service to the ship so that he could eat off that, and that was very, very different to how the crew ate. The officers had one other added extra with their meals: music.
Music in Tudor times would be a bit, it's similar to the way we listen to the radio. It's a wonderful thing. You can sing along to music, you can dance to music.
A number of musical instruments were found in different parts of the ship, but one discovered by the divers intrigued them much more than the others. They had found a long-lost instrument, the still or quiet shawm.
The discovery of the shawm is of immense importance to those who study 16th century musical instruments.
Oh, I can't even use the frame tool here.
It was described as the most mysterious instrument of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Every book on musical instruments mentioned it, but said probably
Oh, I see. So it is actually literally just.
But Charles Foster was asked to see whether he could make a copy of the shawm, and more importantly, see whether he could recreate a sound from the past.
very heavyweight boxwood. All the component parts of it were there, all the key work and the fingerable sections, and remarkably
Oh,
instruments that could be copied. It sounded a very great
so is that the arm now?
6 months later, Charles Foster had pieced together the clues.
The shawm was found in a case, which is a very useful way of making it more portable on board the ship. But the two parts fit together, and a brass tube was found in the bell section.
No, it is moving with the arm.
This end and a reed
Slightly awkward that we had that system of painting on space, and we also got a chip on the back. What's that do?
The loud shawm developed into the modern oboe, but the still shawm became obsolete. The only example was found on the Mary Rose.
Be your best. Follow your own path. Feel no pressure from him or her. Or them.
What's Connie's first ever possession? Oh, it's an animation.
Off your skin. New Gillette Skin Guard Sensitive. The revolutionary technology takes pressure off the blades and pressure off your shave.
helping to stop irritation on sensitive skin. So whatever pressures you face, shaving shouldn't be one of them. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Here's something special from BT.
No, I've never seen that before.
If you've got BT broadband at home, you can get this stunning Samsung Galaxy S9 with 6 gigabytes of data for £40 a month.
Oh yeah, it's an animation. It's an animation.
You'll get one of these impressive Samsung tablets.
Oh, is that music? That's music. It's got.
Online and will also give you a reward card you can spend pretty much wherever you like. But hurry, offer ends 25th of April. We're in a giving.
Oh no, it's just a general timeline thing.
BT Mobile now or call 0800 032 8877. BT, be there.
New Olay Whips. Powerful skincare, now light as air. A breakthrough moisturizer.
Right. I mean, okay. I mean, let's do a tutorial because I'm probably going to be wandering in the dark otherwise. But I just want to show you the. Now, the issue is you've just seen how ridiculously complicated that is. If we go into this.
Now you've got the hang of moving things around in edit mode, it's time to master manipulating objects. Just as well, because Connie's friend Cuthbert fell asleep in the Dreamiverse and got stranded. Yes, he's a cube with legs.
See,
Connie
we've got
didn't
these
choose her
very,
friends.
very sort of childish descriptions.
So,
What we do.
we need to fix these platforms if she's going to reach the flag and get to Cuthbert. Before we start,
And I think
you
that-
can switch to play mode to see how a player would experience the scene. You'll always need to test things out in play mode while dream shaping, so it's a good habit to get into. Press the options button,
Yeah, at least, I mean, I like.
then select play mode with X. Its icon looks like a controller.
I mean, they did think through the idea of
Once
having
you're
the
in play
option
mode,
of.
take control of Connie with R2, and we'll see how far she can go.
They did think through the
Start by
idea
jumping
of
over to the first platform.
giving you this option of.
Oh dear. Looks like it's too far for Connie. Move that first platform closer. To do that, head back into edit mode. So, open the options menu and select the button with the pencil icon. Once you're in edit mode, move on to the next step.
Now, Good Housekeeping really recommended for 2019. I found Ladylike underwear that's actually pretty. Always discreet boutique. So I feel protected and pretty. Always discreet boutique.
Oh, so you can't just view the instructions, you have to go through those two steps. Yep, okay.
Now that the first platform's in position, let's test it out. Open the options menu,
You're right. You have to dolly everything, of course. I've been used to the fact anything, and I've remembered any time you do this stuff in 3D, you always get a ton of perspective illusions. And of course the motion controls being so sensitive isn't entirely helpful.
let's sort out the next platform now. It's the middle one that's lying on its side. Now that you know how to rotate objects, here's a useful tip.
I've already seen this.
When you rotate something by hand, like this platform, it might end up a little wonky. But there's a really simple... Now the only thing separating Connie from Cuthbert is the final platform. Oh, It looks a bit small compared to the other.
And still lying on her side, King Henry's warship was coming home.
In 1982, I was one of the salvage diving team, and I was privileged to be underwater when the Mayres first came to the surface, and I was doing a job filling up some of the air bags that were used to cushion the wreck.
Also, didn't actually resize it there.
On the day that she came to the surface, and it's certainly something I'll never forget.
It had taken 4 years to
Line
prepare
that.
to raise it. It had taken many hours to reach the surface, and it nearly ended in
Oh,
disaster.
hang on. We're just getting perspective illusion. Yeah, we're getting perspective illusion.
A corner of the lifting frame had collapsed. Thankfully, the hull was intact. 437 years after she had left Portsmouth to engage the French fleet, the Mary Rose,
Bugger off.
still technically a commissioned ship, returned to her home port.
Right, okay.
Despite the fact that more than half
I bet it doesn't actually detect anything.
nearly all of her starboard side survived. Today, the hull of the Mary Rose lies in a dry dock in Portsmouth. She is 22 years into the preservation program, which will take a further 11 years to complete.
Others.
For more than
I'm not sure.
the ship was sprayed constantly with chilled water.
Hurrah! Connie and Cuthbert have been reunited. But now they need to find a way out before Cuthbert falls asleep again.
Which penetrates
So let's learn how to find a door in the Dreamiverse.
it's a 20
Go to the assembly menu, which is the row of buttons at the top of the screen.
It's also not
The
reactive, that's a
assembly
shame.
menu
Didn't
disappears
notice that
when
I
you're
was in
busy
the wrong
working on
menu.
the scene, to make sure it doesn't get in the way. So if you can't see it, just press square to open it.
And up here we can see where we mark those 3 tiers with the orange heart.
Here you'll find all the assembly tools, modes, and gadgets. If you ever wonder what a button does, just hover over it for a few seconds to see more info. This menu is also where the search button lives. It's the one with the magnifying glass.
Right underneath the Mary Rose,
Select it now with
sign
X.
at the stern. And towering above us is the bulk of the Mary Rose. And from this
The search button takes you to the Dreamiverse, where you'll find all the
So
things
you can only
created by
speak
dreamers
incredibly
from around the
slowly.
world. But for this tutorial, I've selected a collection of elements that you can use in this scene. Let's see if we can find a door in the Start Dreaming collection. Select it.
at some time during the ship's life.
Up on the main gun deck towards the stern of the ship, they were to discover the cabin of the Mary Rose's carpenter.
Selecting multiple objects. Ah, now we were wondering about selecting multiple objects. Let's have a look at this one.
Welcome to part 4 of our Start Dreaming tutorials. Ah, I see Cuthbert. Now, you probably noticed that all the blocks, the original as well as its clones, were selected.
Oh, there's no
automatically
instructions
after
option
cloning.
now.
You can tell when things are selected because now you probably noticed that all the now again. This time around, I'll show you how to select and group your creations and how to scope in and out of groups. Luckily, someone left behind a block for us to use. Remember how to repeat clone blocks to create a bridge? Well, let's do that again.
Mallets, planes, and hammers.
Move your view side on to the block and the gap.
Other belongings in his cabin confirmed the
Hold L1, then grab the block with R2. Move it with the motion sensor function to create a clone. Just like last time, let go of L1 while still holding R2, then press the directional buttons to make more clones.
painted on its lid were Latin words which would give an insight into the faith of the crew.
If you rotate the first block a little before you clone it, you can make an arch.
Which is a quote from Romans 8.
Use L2 to make the first block angle up slightly, then make the clone angle down.
Of religion and people's beliefs.
Press the left directional button to repeat clone, and the clones will line up to make an arch. Amazing, right?
Quite amazing. amazing to find something like
Let's quickly test that in play mode.
And they're all drawn here, but some of them actually have.
Now, you probably noticed that all the blocks, the original as well as its clones, were selected automatically after cloning. You can tell when things are selected because they have an animated dashed outline. But after we switched between play and edit modes, everything was deselected. So let's select them again. All you have to do is hover your imp over one of the blocks and press X. There's the outline again. Now do the same to the rest until the whole bridge is selected.
Oh, so we can't. Can we just select an area?
Can you see how each block has its own outline, with a double line where they meet?
You can see a texture burn where they meet.
That's because they're still individual elements. You can deselect them one at a time with X, but it's much quicker if you deselect them all at once with circle. Give it a try. There's also a faster way of selecting multiple objects. Just select one as before, but this time keep X held down.
Okay.
Now move your imp to select
You still
the
can't
others.
bounding box them or anything.
Better than selecting one at a time, right? So much faster. The great thing about having multiple objects selected is that you can
that's what that
manipulate
scope
them
in
as
does.
if they were one object. For example, if all the blocks are selected, you can clone the bridge sideways to create a double bridge. Plenty of room for Connie to cross it without falling off the edge. Try it in play mode. Once Connie is across the gap, go back to edit mode and move on to the next step.
Henry's soldiers are armed with medieval pike staffs, bills, and swords. But here too are the latest handguns, cannon, and other weapons of the coming age.
I'm holding 3 buttons to do this now.
The famous English longbow would soon be gone forever.
I can't move forward. Why is that? Oh, because... Oh, can I release that? Oh, okay, right.
The longbow had been the supreme weapon of war in medieval Europe,
Right,
but none were thought to have survived into modern times.
let's leave that one for now.
1979, one bow was found.
It answered the question I was after about multiple selections.
Christopher Bird discovered a chest full, each
No, don't want to restart.
averaging over
Right, what else we got? Logic, gameplay, animation, audio, art, character creation.
They would have found nearly 3/4 of the longbows known to have been carried on
Let's try the audio.
We're in one of the storage areas at the Mary Rose Trust, and here we have a selection of some of the
Arranging ready-made clips. Oh, okay, so it's just how to do loops.
These are really the only
That's not really so good.
that made the English longbowmen feared by, in particular by the French, and in fact one
Let's actually do the sculpt, because I want to see how that works.
In this lesson, I'll show you how to sculpt your own objects from scratch, which will come in handy because
God, why
Cuthbert's
can't we have an
having a
example that's not
meltdown.
make a
Escort him to
bridge?
safety. In this lesson, escort him to safety. Go to the assembly menu, press the square button to open it if it's closed, and select the modes menu with the X button. Select sculpt mode with X. Its icon has some 3D shapes on it. Every time you enter sculpt mode from the modes menu, a new sculpture will be created. You'll also notice that when you're in sculpt mode, everything outside the sculpture will be blurred and grayed out. This is to help you focus on what you're creating. You can adjust visual feedback in your preferences, which you can find in the options menu. When you first enter sculpt mode, the shapes menu will open automatically and the smear shape tool will be equipped to your imp. Try smearing a shape now by holding R2 and moving your imp around.
Okay,
It's
don't
great
seem
for
to be able to
making
level it up.
organic forms.
Yeah, organic meaning not straight.
Now that's out of your system, undo all of
Fair
it
enough.
by using the left directional button. By using this tool, will help Connie get across the first gap. Move your view a bit closer to the action, looking side on at the space between the platforms. Make sure you can see the platforms and that your imp can reach them. We want to build an organic structure for Connie to walk on, so let's pick an appropriate shape. Select one from the Shapes menu, and you'll see it on the end of your imp. Use the up and down directional buttons to scale it to an appropriate size. While you have a shape on your imp, you can use the grab cam to zoom in and out. Just hold R1 and use the left stick. Now position your imp next to the platform on one side of the gap. Then hold down R2 and use the motion sensor function or the left stick to smear your shape in the gap so that Connie can walk on it. If you want to have another go at it, just undo using the left directional button. Feel free to press and let go of R2 as many times as you want. Each press will create a new edit within your sculpture.
Yeah, okay, I get.
Bear in mind that all the edits you make are part of a single sculpture, even if they aren't connected. This means that in assembly mode, they'll behave like a single object. Why not try out different shapes to see what works best? Try holding L2 as you sculpt, and use the left and right sticks to rotate the shape. Maybe try making something like a rock formation or a tree trunk. The cool thing is, sculpts are automatically physical, so they can be walked on by puppets like Connie immediately. When you want to try it out, switch to play mode in the options menu, and get Connie to walk around on your sculpture.
Oh, so you don't actually have to... Okay. Does that count as being complete? Okay. Oh, no, it doesn't, because I haven't seen your steps. Oh, well.
At Harry's, we try to do things a little differently, like giving you a great shape for a fair price.
Let's just have a mess around with the tool. Individual sculpture, individual sculpture.
And a travel blade cover. Everything you need for a smooth and comfortable shape with a full refund if you're not completely satisfied. Get started with a glue launch by Castle at harrys.com.
So let's see what these do. Paint. Oh, paint's the one we did earlier with the... So I think these are now two separate objects, aren't they? Yes. That's a painting, which I think is... Yeah. I quite like that, actually, as a way of doing 2D objects, or flat objects. Oops, double selected. So coat, I'm guessing, is stickers, or what used to be...
Tough on the toughest methods and deadly on the dullest dullness. For a clean you won't believe.
Razzle dazzle.
Fairy's #1 for cleaning. New Platinum Plus.
No more Mr. Nice Baby.
Sup, Sophie? You can save some serious money if you switch energy supply. Now you could do it yourself. Or you can go with the pros. You switch help you find the better deal and handle the switch for you. It's the easy way. You just need your latest bill and boom, they do the rest. Just go online or call and join the millions who save with you. Get it.
You switch. Switching makes simple.
Is that my special phone?
Here's something special from BT Mobile.
That's neat.
If you've got BT broadband at home, you can get this stunning Samsung Galaxy S9 with 6 gigabytes of data for £40 a month. And what's more, you'll get one of these impressive Samsung tablets on us. Join online and we'll also give you a reward card you can spend pretty much wherever you like. But hurry, offer ends 25th of April. We're in a giving kind of mood. Search
Okay, is that single colours? What style then?
Join from just £5 a month. Our cutting-edge technology means our mechanics can fix 8 out of 10 cars at the roadside, and we'll get you going in around 30 minutes. Plus, with unlimited call-outs, we'll always keep you rolling. So why wait? Breakdown membership from £5 a month. Search AA Spring today. AA, because anything can happen. Hey, that there. Get a loan from the guys at Sunny. Yeah, that's life support.
Sunny.co.uk.
Not doing anything here, you know, it's... I mean, I know I'm jumping in, but at the same time, it'd be helpful if it gave some indication of what was being done wrong, if something was being done wrong.
August 2004, and the Mary Rose Trust have learned that a proposed deep-water channel into Portsmouth will pass dangerously close to the
Effects, sound. So we used to have... Oh, this is actually literally effects.
from the seabed. Archaeologists are back excavating and looking for evidence in areas which weren't investigated in the original dive. During the 1970s and 80s, the archaeologists didn't excavate the bow castle structure, the area at the front of the ship, built up high so that they could fight a land battle at sea. Historians have only been able to guess at what
Oh, I see. Oh, that's a bit better convincing on that.
I think this bow area of the ship, because it's one of the fighting areas of the ship, is actually very, very important. And that's why, you know, I still dream of trying to find this underwater.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's quite nice.
Along with Alex Hildred, Christopher Dobbs is one of 4 original Mary Rose team members who will be diving this summer. They will be working underwater in 90-minute shifts.
I'm sure you used to have
Just as 20 years ago, they start removing layers of
stickers. I think that is that in Sculpt.
more treasures from the Mary Rose.
We have Flex here again.
It's not long before discoveries are made.
Hang on. I don't think I want to edit it that way. I think I want to
Objects that were left behind by
go in like that. Okay.
They read their Testament tape measure. And my favourite is this. It looks like something very corroded and very old. But it's actually just one of these, an adjustable wrench that's been in the sea for a bit longer. And this just shows quite how much things corrode underwater and really how lucky we are to have had the Mary Rose preserved under those silts.
The silts are still kind to the Mary Rose, and before long they begin to give up more objects. A length of timber.
No, more doing nothing. Oh well.
Discovered. But further excavation reveals that this particular piece of wood is of far greater significance than the divers had ever hoped for. Could this timber be part of a bigger find? That of the front of the vessel.
Okay. Is there anything in the tutorial pages about Flex, whatever they are?
And we began to see frames coming out of it. And if we look at the skeleton view from the inside,
Gameplay, animation, audio, art.
the bottom of the bow as it begins to curve up.
What they are looking for is the bow castle, the front part of the ship.
Detailed. That would be detailed sculpts.
Over the next few days, the team of 12 divers search for more timbers hidden.
Shows coastline effects. Let's.
As the diving continues,
Are you ready to get those creative juices flowing? This tutorial's all about making your creations beautiful. Now, this is Connie's worry, Connie. We can learn to make editing them quicker and easier. So what does the garden need? Worry, Connie. We can learn more about that later. And because I'm ever your servant, I've also grouped some of these objects just for you. It'll make editing them quicker and easier. So what does the garden need? Well, it could do with some color, texture, and movement. Luckily, the coat, style, and effects modes are the perfect tools to do that. They don't create new objects, they modify existing sculptures and paintings. And they work on groups. With just a little practice, you can become a master of them all. So let's start by adding some color with the tint tool. Open the assembly menu with the square button and go to the modes menu. Each mode has its own set of tools and options. The tint tool is in coat mode. It has an icon that looks like a pot of paint being spilled. Select it by pressing the X button. As you can see, the assembly menu has now been replaced with the coat menu. In the top row, you'll find options and helpers. Along the bottom, you'll find the tools. Now, which color to use? Open the colors menu in the top row of icons. These are color groups. You can expand a color group with X. Each group contains more shades that you can choose from. I'm going to find a green for the foliage, but if green's not your thing, you can experiment. Pick a shade. Changes as you work. When you've chosen a color, to add color to our scene, we'll use the tint tool, which has an icon like an airbrush. You can
It's an
manually
airbrush?
select
I
it in the
suppose so.
tools menu. But in coat mode, choosing a color from the colors menu equips the tint tool automatically. See the airbrush icon on the tip of your imp. The tint tool recolors objects, either tinting or completely covering their original color. Just press and hold R2 to tint the objects at the tip of your
Why?
imp.
Because you can apply
No
it
need to select or
to
scope
something you
into
haven't
anything.
selected.
The rounded clumps look a bit dreary in this scene. Let's add some color. You can see that the longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint gets. And with a tumbler color selected, it will cycle through different shades. If you make a mistake, you can undo
Okay.
using the left directional button. Good job. Now your scene is beautifully colored in, let's add some texture to it. For that,
Okay.
we need to leave coat mode and go into style mode. To leave a mode, select the exit button in the top right of the screen. Or you can use a shortcut. Hold L1 and press circle. Just like scoping out of a group. Now use the modes menu to switch over to style mode. The style mode icon is an S-shaped brushstroke. All sculptures and paintings in Dreams are made up of flecks, and style mode is where we manipulate them. For example, notice how the objects in this scene look smooth. That's because their flecks are small and tightly packed together. We can make them more textured with the looseness tool. Select the looseness tool. It looks like a blurry circle. Now try using R2 to loosen some of the foliage in the scene. Don't hold back. As you can see, loosening sculptures and paintings means their flecks become more obvious.
Does it?
If you think they're getting too loose, press triangle to make the tools subtractive and tighten them up again with R2. Or you can just use the left directional button to undo.
Oh, I see.
Don't forget to loosen up the river too. We'll need it in the following steps.
Oh, I see. That's a really unusual way of doing it.
Carry on loosening the objects in the scene. When you're happy, proceed to the next step. Wonderful. Connie's garden looks like a lovely painting. Let's look at the water now. Water has a reflective quality, so let's add some shine to the river. This is where the finish tool comes in. Exit out of style mode with L1 and circle and head back into coat mode in the modes menu. Next to the colors menu in coat mode, you'll find the finishes menu. Select it with X. These finishes change the way objects react to light in your scene. Using finishes, you can make objects shiny, rough, metallic, or even translucent. Now you can choose your finish for the river. Our river looks nice and shiny now, but something's missing. It doesn't flow like
Okay,
water
we've done
does.
this, so...
But there's a magical tool for that in effects mode. It's called the flow tool. Leave coat mode if you haven't already, and enter effects mode. The effects mode icon has some twinkly stars on it. Alongside the flow tool, you'll notice other animated effects that you can apply to sculptures or paintings. But for now, we'll pick the flow tool. Its icon is a tap, or a faucet if you're from the US.
It's faucet, not a faucet.
Press
It
X
never says
over the flow
faucet.
tool to select it,
Oh, matron.
and use R2 to apply it to the river. To click R3 to see the effects in action. When the river's flowing at the right speed, you may notice something a bit odd. It's flowing the wrong way. Let's fix that using another tool found in style mode, the comb tool. Leave effects mode using L1 and circle, then go back into style mode via the modes menu. The comb tool icon is some wavy lines. Select it with X. Now we're going to make the river flow the correct way. How do we do that? You guessed it. Hold R2 to comb the flecks of the river so they go in the right direction. We're no longer in effects mode, so we can't see the flow effect animating. But just click R3 to start time, and you'll be able to see it again. The key is to move your imp in the direction you'd like the flecks to flow. A bit like you're combing the river's hair. Very stylish. Let go of R2 when you're happy with the flow direction. And now you can see the river is going the correct way. But if it isn't, just undo and try again. When you're happy with the speed and direction of the river, click L3 to rewind time. Then it's off to the next step.
I'm not happy with is the colour. I lost the colour at some point. What's that in? Paint coat, that's it.
This scene is really coming together. Next,
that's
let's
pretty
do
cool.
something interesting with the chimney smoke. Move closer to the smoke so you can see the flecks clearly. These flecks don't look very smoky, do they? Let's change that. If you're not already in style mode, head there now using the modes menu. Open the flex menu with X. It's the button in the center of the top row. Now choose a fleck that looks smoky. How about the dots fleck?
That one.
When you choose a fleck type, it'll automatically select the Apply Fleck tool. Now, hover your imp over the smoke and hold R2. The flecks will change. That's better. Let's inspect it now using the grab cam. Grab it with R1. And while you're grabbing, spin around it with the left or right stick. The paint strokes look a bit flat, don't they? You can only see them well from certain angles. We can make it a bit more billowy and three-dimensional using the Impasto tool. In the Style menu, select the Impasto tool then hold R2 to apply it to the smoke.
Incredible mandate for
Watch as the individual flecks of the painting become more three-dimensional.
of crimes against humanity.
To see it better,
Oh, I see.
use the grab cam to spin around the smoke again.
Legal process that has become
You can also press undo and redo to compare the smoke with and without impasto. Now that you've mastered impasto, the last style tool we're going to use is the ruffle tool. The ruffle tool icon looks like a lot of lines going in different directions. It will randomly rotate the flecks so they're not as orderly. It works in the
see,
same
right.
way as the other two tools. Select it with X, then use R2 to apply it,
Oh, so it's not animate, is it?
and
Oops.
switch the tool to subtractive by pressing triangle. Ruffle makes quite a difference, doesn't it? Why not see if you can animate the smoke using the flow tool in effects mode?
Because it's going completely the wrong way. Okay.
When you're happy,
That's
go
really
to
silly
the
putting
next
those
step of
in
the
different
tutorial.
menus.
Now that the scene is looking good, we should make Connie's cottage look more welcoming for her.
Is there a welcoming tool?
We can do that using something called the glow tool. So head back to the modes menu and into coat mode. The glow tool has an icon that looks like a little sun. Select it with X.
Yeah, I think that might be a
then
bit
move
much.
your view over to the cottage for a closer look. Now position your view so that you can see the door and the window of the cottage. Then hold R2 over the window in the door to make it glow. Go on, give it some welly. Whoa, that's too bright. Let's press triangle to make the tool subtractive. Then use R2 to reduce the glow.
Oh, I
Maybe
see,
you could try
okay.
tinting the window to change the color of the light. See what you think.
Yeah,
Have a
okay.
play with the glow tool, and then move on to the next step when you're
Right.
ready.
Hey, it's on fire. Oh, well.
The scene looks so alive now, and Connie's in love with her new home. It's hard to believe that this scene used to be all grey and blocky.
Not that hard.
Let's try something. How different did we actually make it? To see, we can use a special trick. Press square to open the menu, and then take a look in the Show Hide section. The Show Hide icon looks like an open eye. It can be found in most of the mode's menus. In the Show Hide menu, you can make all sorts of different objects visible or invisible. It only works in edit mode, so your scene will still look the same in play mode. Some of them are on by default, and some are switched off. Coat, style and effects is one of the options which is on by default.
Okay.
Its icon is a combination of the icons for all three of those modes. Try turning it off by
My 8th grade teacher in public school 80 in the Bronx. I was then moving back again with my mother and my stepfather. She asked me to bring my father and mother in if she wanted to talk to them. And we had a little conference. The teacher explained,
finished, go to play mode in the options menu and walk Connie into her beautiful new home. This will complete the tutorial.
So do you always have to possess something when you play? Also, why is the camera locked? So that's going to be really awkward. Oh, that's what that rigging zone was for. There's probably got to be some examples in here. Oh god. Okay, yeah, this is the other thing. We have to have these really silly things about how, life is just an idea, which it wasn't.
Strangest and most wonderful ideas and creations.
The only fun thing about that is when those eyes pop up, you can make your imp look like she's got a dripping nose.
Games, animations, music videos, and all sorts of worlds and experiences made by dreamers just like you. Dream surfing is a never-ending, ever-changing stream of dreamers' imaginations. Let's try it out.
City College was known as the poor man's almanac. I didn't know that at the time, but it was a very tough school for a lot of tough kids, mostly Jewish kids who couldn't afford a college education. It was a very good school.
Oh, okay.
Second, there's a lot I have to learn, and I think I did.
Oh, so you can do nothing now except possess. That makes it a bit of a pointless control, doesn't it? Oops. Oof. What's that? Wait. Oof. Okay. No. Wow, that jump is also really, really floaty. Again, that's probably just the same as Little Big Planet. Oh. Okay, so they are the same as the hazards in the Big Planet, except you get 2 jumps. What? I'm sure I just fell through the map there. That wasn't very good. I like the music though. Yeah, you can just bounce around like that because of the float, because of how floaty it is. Oops. Oh, you can jump in mid-air. Oh, maybe you got double jump. No, you can just jump in mid-air. Okay. What really baffles me actually is why they also released this at the same time as they announced the PlayStation 5. It's like, okay, so it's already out of date or something? Hammer Panic. How the heck? Okay. Oh, that's a blooming depressing game, isn't it? Everyone hates hugging you so much they commit suicide. Oh, it's even scripting that. Oh my goodness. Oh, just asteroids. Whoa, hang on. They made a UI? Okay, again, if you're going to make the UI that detailed inside the game... Okay. Well, it's very well done. Can I see that? Scoreboard. So if I go to the creation tool, can I actually load that? Scenes. But that sends me to play? Oh, of course. Oh, hang on, am I? Oh, I haven't got the... Okay, I haven't got the actual mushroom moving yet, but that's still quite impressive. If a massive copyright infringement, but then never seen a creation game where they didn't have 90% of the creations infringing on copyright.
smithereens. The engine would still be, partly intact, but to find a finger was already a great discovery. I found several fingers.
I guess you can't actually remix these.
You send it back to the Acton Channel or
Maybe you can do. Oh, you can with the. Oh, you can with the. Maybe it's a permission thing. Yeah.
I didn't stop and ask myself what's my motion state. I asked myself what's next. Move.
Oh, okay. But that wasn't FPS. That was just. Oh, that was obviously that one I got. Okay. The end of this. Oops, not that.
This has fueled a nuclear reactor inside this thing, and it's still.
Now continue. So I can't. Oh, you don't always get what you want. Yeah, but you don't necessarily get people actually killing themselves in order to avoid hugging you. Okay, so that's a bit of a pain that you can see those in create mode, but they're no use in create mode. What's a story scene then?
And look back on it, I built a screen, some sort of screen, before my mind to say this is not real. This is, just go ahead,
Oh, it's a cutscene, right? Okay. Oh, I can remix that. Okay. If I actually go into the editor for those.
I'm not yet there, but they'll be coming in soon. And
It just gives me a basic plane. And
stacks of bodies, looks like skeletons or bones, piled up like cordwood.
guided, yeah, rail, not tutorials.
Stench in the air. The human beings behaving like rats in the garbage pile, digging, crawling for a bite to eat. Okay, go on, describe again.
I'll make that a bit smaller.
Become vivid again. And I was ice cold. I didn't
A bit bigger than that.
shed a tear. I didn't hesitate. I went. I did my job. Because that was my job. To get out of prison.
Hang on.
The war was over. And I joined the army.
Oh, got collision layers. Okay. They blatantly use Unity. They basically just based this on Unity, haven't they? I mean, fair enough. It's a good system, but...
Not in the wildest imagination would I have dreamt that I would turn around and go back to Germany. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, I don't know why it suddenly says that. This object can't be edited. I'm looking at the floor or something.
And when the cable came from the Pentagon,
Okay, so when it's movable. Now what if I want to make it controllable?
I assumed there was a connection.
It's probably A.
And off I went
Is there a sort of direct one for this? Probably in MM Contraptions, yeah.
And not just deaths, but crimes committed on an unimaginable industrial scale by the Third Reich.
So this, do I like flag it as possessable or something?
Did horrify people.
They were so atrocious that they couldn't be left unanswered. Something had to happen. You couldn't just
How much it weighs, interesting set.
the Allied powers decided that they had to stigmatize what happened, that this had consequences.
We know there are some people who said just take out the
Oh, okay.
murderers and shoot them. There are others who said just let it alone. What's past is past.
Is this what I use?
The U.S. administration insisted on a trial, and to see
Oh, okay. No, this is for the This is for sort of standards.
leaders still alive in the dock.
Okay, no, I don't think that applies. There's controller somewhere. I already saw that.
Prosecuted fairly, and those responsible held to account.
Judges from Britain, America, Russia, and France assemble in Nuremberg's courthouse. Empowered to impose sentence of death or such punishment as it may
Yeah,
consist.
there we go.
The tribunal sits in judgment upon 20 leaders of an earthly party.
To think of the situation in summer 1945, what a lot of German cities looked like, it was really challenging to find a place where you could hold such a trial. You would need the building, you would need the prison, just infrastructure.
Possess the object, but what object? How is it determined? Does it have to be in a group with it?
And they ended up here in Nuremberg because the powers of justice had survived the war more or less undestroyed. And of course, there also was the symbolic aspect.
Nuremberg was the place where the Nazis had their annual party rallies, so it's more than an infrastructural question. The symbolism was very much in the heads of those planning the Nuremberg trials in July 1945.
If you go back and read the transcript of the original IMT,
Yeah, where does it actually say what object it applies to?
address the court. I mean, this is not your classic opening statement. This is poetry in motion.
The privilege of opening the first trial in history for crimes against the peace of the world imposes a grave responsibility. The wrongs which we seek to condemn and punish have been so calculated,
Does it have to be grouped together, do you think?
devastating, that civilization cannot tolerate their being ignored.
Oh, it disappeared. Is that a good thing? It might be.
I do think that he had a sense that the world, when that trial has ended,
And then we want to say, okay,
he had this sentiment that this is world history, that he was part of, or even the driving force of.
That four great nations, flushed with victory and
okay, so,
stay the hand of vengeance and voluntarily submit their captive enemies to the judgment of the law is one of the most significant tributes that power has ever paid.
okay, do you want the standard mover?
Bullion by Post is the UK's #1 online bullion dealer. At Bullion by Post, we make it easy to buy and sell.
Oh, it's just forward speed.
A wide range of coins, bars, and collectibles. Bullion by Post have delivered over 300,000 orders and are proud to have received over 19,000 customer reviews. All orders include free insured delivery. We also
Don't know which way forward is then. Alright, will that do anything? Will that work now?
800 825 0000. Visit
Oh, it moved into the... Okay, so the location it zipped into was the location of the controller sensor, but now it's not doing anything. This is the other thing. There doesn't seem to be any sort of debugging for this kind of thing.
Our broadband deal has just got even better. When you get Superfast Fibre now, you'll save £108, as well as getting a Google Home with £129 on
I don't know if those will stay on when I do a play. No, they don't.
all your questions. Imagine that, a hub that's more powerful than other big providers. Get Superfast Fibre for £29.99 a month.
There's no way of seeing why that's not moving. Is it stuck in the floor? Maybe it's not moving because it's stuck in the
Search BT Broadband or call 0800 100 282.
No, shouldn't be that.
Anything can happen when you're out and about this spring, but with the AA, you don't need to worry. Join for just £5 a month. Our cutting-edge technology means our mechanics can fix 8 out of 10 cars at the roadside, and we'll get you going in around 30 minutes. Plus, with unlimited call-outs, we'll always keep you going. So why wait? Breakdown membership from £5 a month. Search AA Spring today. The AA, because anything can happen.
Sometimes it's nice to own something real that you can hold in your hand and one day pass on to your loved ones. This free guide from Direct Bullion told me everything I needed to know so I could start my own collection of gold coins and bullion bars. All the gold they sell is VAT free, and they're specialists on hand to guide and support their customers. For your free Direct Bullion guide to buying gold, call 0800 055 7050.
Okay, Peloton.
Yeah, because I don't really know how to sort of have some kind of debug view to find out what's happening to that signal and why it's not actually responding. Hang on, all the wires have disappeared. Are they not connected now? Oh, right, now they're back. Okay, don't know what happened there. The mover doesn't have to be movable, presumably. Does it? Movable mover? Oh, hang on. Have I actually made the mover target the object? Maybe I need to do that. Maybe that would help.
I was interviewed by Colonel Mickey Marcus, who was in the Pentagon, and his job was to try to recruit staff for subsequent proceedings after the international military trial was finished. And he said that somebody else wants to talk to you. And that was then Colonel Telford Taylor. Telford Taylor had been assigned by President Truman to carry on the work of Jackson by being the chief of counsel for the 12 subsequent trials that were being planned. So,
Okay, that might help.
considering, going back with me,
No shortcut for that. Yeah, it's the usual exit one. Right, okay.
and your background, and I understand
Uh, hey, oh, it only goes one direction, and it falls off. But never mind, that's at least something.
obey any orders that I know stupid or
No, don't exit.
have been checking up on you. Added the interim.
No, it's gone. Oh, right, I have to do a rewind. Right.
He was also a Harvard graduate, and he checked my record. So he smiled and he said, "You go with me." These were to be 12 additional trials because it was recognized
So,
of the International Military Tribunal.
how do I make it directional? Is there a different one for that?
Still didn't quite understand how it would be possible for a civilized country like Germany to engage in the type of atrocities for which they were responsible. And the idea of these subsequent proceedings, as they were called, was to put the doctors on trial, sampling, perform medical
The thing with the advanced mover is that it has this thing. It had a thing where it wanted the X, Y, and Z values separately.
They built the film, Judgment at Nuremberg. You had the industrialists like I.G. Farben
I mean, unless I connect it to all three of these or something.
Companies give them a chance to state their case. Foreign ministry people, and then the SS squads, who are the murderers on the scene. So the idea was to take a sampling for these
Oh, and I need the affected object.
and project that. And
Don't know why that's not. That's hidden by default.
picture and Telford Taylor was to be chief of counsel.
I'll get rid of this one. No, I'll power it off.
I can imagine no two more different people than Telford Taylor and Ben. Telford, this
Oh, okay.
elegant,
Oh, that didn't work.
gentleman who could not have been more
It just instantly rolls off.
You never got a quick answer out of Telford. It was always, let me think about that. And then this kind of dynamo of a tiny little Jewish guy with none of the kind of elegance of Telford. He had the same elegance in mind, but
Is it double connection? No.
I can easily see the attraction. He was brilliant, insightful, determined. He had all the qualities that one would look for if one were Telford Taylor.
It says it. Okay, includes signal, direction, and strength. Which is right. It's a vector. But this doesn't seem to have an option to take direction and strength. It just takes three values. And neither does this. This just takes forward.
But if you have a suspect and no evidence, you have nothing. Your job is to go find the evidence. So I took a stab of about 50 people and went to Berlin, set up the organization to start searching the archives.
Do I need to rotate it, do you think?
The SS, the Gestapo, the army, and the industrialists to see what evidence we had that they had committed war crimes. It was in that capacity that one of my staff members
Rotation speed.
came, he said, look what I found.
But not direction to...
This is of the
direction of rotation.
It was a complete dossier. The daily reports coming in from the front saying how many
So
Jews
can I wire that
units had
onto...
died. Now these units were called Einsatzgruppen, and it was deliberately disguised so that you couldn't tell from the name what it was, because their assignment was to go in behind the German lines and then
I admit this. The motion controls are actually quite quick when you get... Ow, it's rolling off. Ow, bugger.
every single Jewish man, woman, and child they could lay their hands on and do the same thing for the gypsies and do the same thing for
Oops,
any
no.
suspected
Not the group.
garage.
Just that one.
They had these daily reports sent back to Berlin where they were consolidated.
No, it's still picking up. Oh, even before I possessed it. Where's it getting any command data from?
To 99
That's a rib.
branches of the German government. The people like the army who said, I never heard anything about that. I knew it done in my area. So that was baloney. They were on my distribution list.
Just need to dismantle one of those player characters again. Although they were massive. I hope you don't have to do that every time. Anyway, I should probably leave this now. It's probably gotten too long and probably too boring. Thank you.
Berlin, where I was, had the headquarters for that, went down to Nuremberg,